In this video, we're going to talk about the SortN function. So the SortN function is relatively similar to the sort function with one major added bonus. It'll sort out just a specific number that you're looking for. So for example, we have this particular data here. We have our hog data again. And in this scenario, we don't have that many rows. We have only about 24, 25 rows total. So not that many. But what if you were dealing with a data set of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of animals, and you needed to call out, let's say you got 200 cows, and you need to call out the worst 10% of those animals. You need to cull out 10% of those animals this year. So you need to cull out the worst 20. So you could do the sort, and you'd get a data sheet with all 200 on there, or you could do SortN and sort out just the 20 that you're looking for. So let's dive in to see how this is going to look. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to, again, cell reference our category names. So we just cell reference those. We're going to drag that across. And then right here, we're going to use the SortN function. So SortN, if we look at it, what it says is that it returns the first n items, which n being any specific number that we identify, n items in a data set after sorting the rows of the given array or range by the values in one or more columns. So the way that this is going to look is we're going to type in equals SortN like we have. We're going to type in our range, which that is our data. We're going to identify the number of values we want to display. So let's say we're trying to figure out what are the best 5 or the worst 5 or the worst 10. We would type in 10, the number 10 right here, and the number 5 or whatever we're looking for. Then we get to display ties mode, which we're going to talk about display ties mode because there are some different things we can do there. Then which column are we sorting by? Is it ascending? Are we going to do a second category? Is it ascending? And then so on and so forth. So first and foremost, and now that we said equals SortN, we need to highlight our range. So we've got our range. The next thing is ask is how many items are we looking for? What is the amount that we want to remain? So in this particular example, we're going to find the top 5 hogs. So we're looking for the top 5. So all we really want to show up are 5 animals. So in that particular case, the number of animals we're looking for, that n number, is 5. And then we're looking for top 5 hogs in male producing hogs from 2018. And we're going to show the duplicates. So we're going to skip ties mode right now. We should be typing in a ties mode, but we're going to skip it for now. We're going to come back to it, because I want to go ahead and highlight my column. So we're looking for male producing hogs in 2018. We are going to do the number of surviving males right here. We're going to highlight this. That's the column we're looking for. Again, we need to make sure our rows match up between the columns that we're looking for, the sorting column and the total overall range. And then we're going to be looking from the top 5 male producing hogs. So we're looking for greatest to least, high to low, which is descending. So it's not ascending. This is going to be descending. So we're going to type in false right there. Now, the one thing we left out is this displays ties mode. So we have 4 different options on displaying ties. We have a 0, a 1, a 2, and a 3. So I put this little cheat sheet over here just for your reference. 0 is going to show the first ties until the nth number. Number 1 is going to show all the ties that are identical to the nth number. Show duplicate. 2 is going to show the duplicates, and 3 is going to show all duplicates. 2 is going to remove duplicates, and 3 is going to show all duplicates plus the first unique row. So let's look at what this means. So if we type in a 0, so remember 0 is going to show the first ties until the nth number. So if we click 0, well, here we go. We have 5 different hogs that showed up. We're looking for just 5 hogs, and we're looking by surviving males. So we see that it goes 9, 8, 7, 6, and 6. but it stops at that fifth row. So it's not going to show anything else. Now, what if we type in a 1 right here? Watch what happens when I type in a 1. And remember, 1 is going to show all ties that are identical to the nth number. We added a couple. So let's go back. And now if I type in that 1, watch right here, this last row. I type in a 1, and we add a number. We add another row down here. Well, we wanted to stop at the fifth hog. So why all of a sudden do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hogs? Well, it's because we're going to show all ties that are identical to the nth number. So if we look at here, we had a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, and then we stopped at a 6. But we actually had 3 hogs in this data set. There were 3 hogs that all produced 6 surviving males. So what number 1 does is it's going to show any tie that is identical to that specific number we want to stop at. Why is that important? Well, let's think about a situation where we're trying to figure out which animals are we going to call out. And one of our key things is what is our number of surviving piglets? And we have like a 3-way tie down at the bottom of let's say we have a 5-way tie or 6-way tie where the 6 or 7 bottom hogs produce no surviving piglets. Well, but we only specify the 5. Well, then we miss out on understanding or knowing that there might have been 6 or 7 or even 10 that had no surviving piglets as well. We could be missing some certain animals. So what if we do, let's change that now to 2. Well, then all of a sudden we actually added another one down here, but we removed any duplicates. Remember, we had a 3-way tie on 6 surviving males. And what it did is it actually took out those 2 pigs that had actually produced 6 males as well and threw off a 5th one. So again, a lot of times you may not want to use that one because it's going to be getting rid of pertinent information, identical hogs. It just kind of throws off random chance of which one is going to show up. And then 3 is it's going to show all duplicates plus the first unique row. So let's see what that does. If we do all duplicates plus the first unique row, we see that we have the first 3 hogs stay the same. Our 3-way tie for 6 hogs shows back up, and then it's going to show the first one that's below that 6 number. So essentially that's what the different tiebreakers do. Number 1, our 0 is going to show just right until that nth one. What you run the risk of on that is you lose out on what if there are ties, what if there's other ones that are just as bad or just as good that you want to recognize. Number 1, it shows all the ties that are identical to that nth row. I personally really like using number 1 as my tiebreaker, and we're pretty much going to use number 1 all the way down because it's going to show us all of those ones that are identical to our, to the end of that category. I do not like to use number 2 that remove duplicates. It has its purpose, but I mean that it's going to take away certain animals that you might be looking for. And then number 3 is going to show all duplicates plus that first row. That's another good one to use. The downside of that is it starts to clutter up what you need. So let's go through a couple of more examples. Right here, again, we're going to be cell referencing our categories. So we're going to say equals our category. And we're going to drag it across. I went too far, so we're going to delete that. We're actually going to clear that orange. And then we're going to use another SortN. And now we're looking for the top 10 hogs in surviving piglets from 2018. We want to show duplicates, so we're going to use the number 1 again. And we're going to sort our tiebreakers number 1. And we're going to sort by birth year, high to low. So we're actually going to be sorting a couple of things. So we're going to use a SortN. In our range, of course, we need to highlight all of our range. So we're going to highlight all the way over, all the way down. We're going to do a comma. We want to know how many do we want to display. Well, we want to find the top 10. So we're going to say 10. Displays tie mode, we want to show duplicates, so we're going to say 1. And then we get to sort by column. So we want to first sort by surviving piglets, top 10 surviving piglets. So we want to go high to low on surviving piglets. So number of surviving, we're going to highlight that column. We're going to go, is it ascending? No, we're going to go descending. That's false. And then the second thing is we want to sort by a second one. We want to sort by birth year, high to low. So we're going to come over here and we're going to highlight our birth year as well. And then we want to sort that one high to low. So we're going to do, is that ascending? No, that is false. It's actually descending. And we should be good to go there. But I go ahead and press enter and I have an error that pops up. So let's see what's going on with this error. Well, what happened is if we look, we have a column, our data goes from A4 to K28. We go from our first column, E4 to E28. And then over here, we have K4 to K27. So we actually didn't highlight enough rows. So we're going to go ahead and fix that real quick. So we got to make sure that always our column rows or the number of rows in our categories is equal to the overall row count of the data. So now we're going to be able to get all of this, and we're going to be able to see the top 10 hogs first by looking at number surviving. It's going to go high to low on number surviving. And then we are also going to look at the birth year then. And we're going to go high to low on birth year. So we got up here, we have the best producing or the most producing in terms of number surviving, followed by the youngest of each individual category. For example, we see that both these 4-2 and 6-4 produced 12 piglets, but the one that was born in 2016 is going to be before the one born in 2013. We jump down here to the 7-4, 16-2, and 6-7 all produce 10, but we see that we have it in descending order on when they were born. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is going to be showing probably our 10 best hogs overall. So now we want to find the 7 lowest hogs in surviving piglets from 2018, sorted by the number farrowed in 2017, low to high, and then sort by birth year, low to high. So what are we doing here? We're trying to find the worst hogs. Maybe we need to figure out what are we going to cull. We need to cull out 7 hogs. So we're going to cull it by several different categories. How many survived in 2018? What was the number farrowed in 2017? And then by their birth year. So first and foremost, I'm going to cell reference my categories. I'm going to drag this across. Then I'm going to say equals SortN. What is my range? Well, my range is all that data. So I'm going to highlight all of this data, just like I have been. I want to see what was the nth number of animals I'm looking for. Well, I'm looking for 7. So what about displays tie mode? Well, I want to go ahead and keep duplicate. So I'm going to keep the number 1 as my displays tie. If you notice, I'm partial to the number 1. I like number 1 typically whenever I'm doing these SortNs. And then we're going to first sort by the number surviving from 2018. So we're going to find number surviving from this 2018. We're going to highlight this column, make sure that we highlight all the way down, all the way to that 28th row. And we want to go low to high in this particular situation, because it says we want to find the 7th lowest. So is it ascending? In this case, we're finally dealing with the true. It is ascending. Next, we want to sort by number farrowed in 2017. So we go over here and we find number farrowed in 2017. We highlight this column. And now it's asking us, is it ascending? We want low to high, so it is ascending. So we're going to do another true. And then we're going to sort by birth year, low to high. So we're going to highlight all of this. Again, this one is going to be low to high, so we're going to put true and say enter. Now we get basically what is our 7th lowest hogs in terms of, here we go, the first 4 had 0 surviving pigs. 0 surviving. And then the 5th, 6th, and 7th kind of went low numbers here. And then if we would have had any ties on anything, we look at the number farrowed in 2017. That was our kind of our next default, followed by birth year, to where we can then sort through data pretty quick to see what is our worst or what is our best animals.